Good morning, all of you, uh, and welcome to today's webinar. The topic will be the sports development, and I welcome all of you on behalf of ISST, Institute of Sports Science and Technology, and I thank the institute for giving me this opportunity to address and share the information and discuss this very important topic. And to start with, I'll briefly introduce myself. I'm Captain Nitin Pant. I'm an ex-army officer and sports management professional. I've worked for various sports management organizations and have managed various grassroots initiatives and international sporting events. At present, I'm working for Hyderabad Football Club, which is an ISL franchisee, and I'm working there as Chief Operating Officer. Before this, I have worked for Confederation of Indian Industry for the sports department, where I have worked closely on the sports policy matters at a macro level, and there the focus was more on the grassroots sports, basically the school sports. So the initiative was to is still to make sports a part of the school curriculum. And besides that, I have worked for other organizations like Program International and iOS. So I have managed various international level marathons and also was part of player organizing Durand Cup and in Delhi, and also managing professional football club in Delhi. I'm myself a professional football player. I used to play for Delhi State, and I've also led the University of Delhi football team. And I'm an alumni of ISST. I've done my diploma in sports sciences from the institute, and I must say that ISST has given professionals like me who cannot do a full-time course at this stage, and the with this work experience. So it has given me that opportunity and various other professionals, so that we can acquire knowledge while continuing our profession. And I'm sure I've also interacted with other full-time students of ISST, and they're doing a good job and a great job in providing or imparting sport management related education. And what I feel is the institute has identified a gap in the sports management education in India, and overall it's affordable as well. If you see the students who are going abroad and spending a lot of money, I think IST is doing a great job. So that's all about my introduction. So I'll start with the webinar. I have structured my webinar in a way that the first 25-30 minutes I'll touch upon briefly on the introduction of sports or sport development. I'll not go in much deeper because it's a very vast topic, and going deeper means I'll be needing many more sessions, so that might be possible later on. So today's focus will be more on the introduction and what is the importance of sports development in the Indian context. So this will be more of an informal interaction or discussion, I'll say. Which I'll be sharing my experience rather than sharing any bookish knowledge. So it's practically totally based on my experience and what I feel is sport development and how can we leverage that in the Indian context. So next and then last 10 to 15 minutes will be Q&A. You can ask me any question, and I'll be happy to answer those. And if any one of you have your own thoughts or viewpoints, please share that. So there's no. It's not that. It's also for us, and especially for me also, to learn from you guys. So let's start with the main topic, which is the sport development. So first of all, we need to see that why we are discussing this topic today. For students, I'll say it will more of a career path, or what all can they pursue post their degree or diploma, or the formal education. For sports enthusiasts and other, including the students and the professionals, it is more about understanding the topic of sport development. So why that? Because once you understand the topic properly and correctly, then only you can manage various sports development programs, and the desired outcome can only come once you are thorough, or each and every aspect of that particular uh, aspect. Sorry, the topic. So, coming to the career path for students, we all are well aware that what are the opportunities in the sports. So, when we say sports, sport development, so it encompasses majorly all the sporting activities. You may say that why? Because either a sport activity is elite level, or a performance oriented activity, or it's more of a whether it be a event, or any internationally recognized sporting event, or a performance uh, uh, you know performance high performance programs. So if you say we all are aware, so I just want to brush upon the career paths in this field. Is it can be if you say on field, it can be sports coaches, sports science professionals, instructors, nutritionists, and all those professions which are directly related to the sport. And besides say off field, then you can say program managers, facility managers, event managers, so all those kind of things. So again, as I told you that it's not more of bookish knowledge, so there are various other books available online, or you can buy those books, and there are a whole list of, even if you search online, you will find a whole list of uh, career opportunities in this field. So now if we as a sport development as a topic, why we it's why it's gaining so much importance in this in the global world, or in the global sports industry. So if you see that sports is, we all know that it includes grassroots, elite, not-for-profit initiatives. So the thing is, from top to bottom, from our early childhood, or even for when we are in school, when we play, when we indulge in school sports, or we participate in amateur leagues or professional leagues, or we represent our country, or even if it's not about the performance or training for any particular competition or any particular game. We do play sports not only at younger age, but if you see the masters level and all those. So it all that is a entire universe of sport development. So coming to the topic as a definition, so it's very difficult to define a very this diverse topic in one single definition. And there are various other by various experts. They have given different definitions and explanations as to how one can perceive sport development. So, to be in general terms, if you want to define sport development, according to me, it's more like a process, or making policies, or the efforts wherein we are trying to provide sporting opportunities to the community. So when I say sporting opportunities, I mean not only giving things opportunities, but also the experience of indulging in sports, or any physical activity. So here it's more about not only sport but physical activity as well. So from if you see, the first question comes to mind, that if you want to define any particular term or topic, so if you see the sport development per se, so if you want to define sport, so sport is you can define it. It's a competitive, competitive, uh, structured, rule governed, where we have we indulge in physical activities under that competitive and rule governed process. And if you say development, that is a process of growth basically. So if you combine these two words together, I don't know if you'll be able to get some definition or a definite definition out of it. But yes, it's more of a process, wherein we all make our efforts to provide physical activity or sporting opportunities to a wider range of population. Coming to the background of sport development is first what came first, the professional football came first, or the amateur sport came first, or what was the importance of sport in earlier times. So if you see the history, not only in India but other European countries like basically England, where all the major sports originated. So initially it was introduced. The sport was introduced for young kids to make them more responsible, disciplined, and teaching moral values, which are attached to sports. So that came, and the physical, that was the primary objective of introducing sports at a younger age that time. And health perspective of these, you can say the secondary one. Later on, in around 20th century, then when people started, business and government started investing in sports, then obviously it required more professional structure, and then this professional came in. So we can well imagine that what is the importance of sport. It's not only winning medals for the country or for your state or your district. It's more, much more beyond that. So coming to the next, the aspect of it will be, if you have seen, many of you have seen that pyramid, which we term it as traditional sports development pyramid or a continuum. So a person starts from a foundation level, then moves to the participation level and performance, and then excellence. So basically, you start, from grassroots level, then you go to youth level, then you perform at the professional level, and then the elite level. So that is supposed to be that was the traditional pyramid. So, but as we all know that it's not the ideal world. It's in theory it's good, but in practical it's very difficult to what do you say implement this pyramid or any theory related to it, because sports development happens at every level. So we have to see, we have to focus from, with equal importance both at the grassroots level and at the elite level. So basically, this is what the ideal scenario is. But we all are aware that often it's not very possible to focus on all the platforms or all the sectors of this pyramid, because obviously the resources are limited, and there are different, what do you say? I'll not say agenda, but focus areas for any particular government or a sports department or an authority. If you see, or if you want, we want to, go much into detail, more detail in this topic. So we can, have two arms of, or you can say two parts of sport development. One is development of sport itself, and second is the development through sports. So when I say development of sport, is basically, it's more about providing pathway for professional participation, talent identification, and acquiring skills which one can have to win medals or participate in some competitive competition or some professional competition. And when we refer to sports for development, then it's more about going beyond the scope of sport, and it's more about it's community driven and have see the aim is to have some specific social outcomes. So you must have seen various sporting not-for-profit organizations who are working in this field. Some are uh, focusing on uh, gender equality, some are focusing on education, some on peace, and so on and so forth. So it's more about going beyond the scope of sports and basically related to social and other cultural and economic goals. So now, how do you define or how do you differentiate between these two? For example, if any sport organization undertakes some activity, so how do you differentiate whether it's development of sports or it's sports for development? So basically, development of sport is basically in all the countries majorly done by the federations, national sports federation, or the state state sports federations. So it's done by that, and also it's very simple to differentiate between these two, because it's you just have to ask one question, that is what is the intended outcome of the program, whether it's you want to improve the skills and the performance of the athlete, or you have want to develop the the participants. I'll not say athlete here, but the participants beyond the scope of sport. So through this, if you ask this question and the this outcome based question, you'll able to get to know that whether it's for excellence or for community engagement. Also, when we say, when we refer to sport in sports development scenario, so I would like to, highlight this definition by United Nations Interagency Task Force on Sports for Development and Peace, which, it says that the definition is like, it's incorporated into definition of sport are all forms of physical activity that contribute to physical fitness, mental well-being, and social interaction. So basically, so these include play, recreation, organized, casual or competitive sport, and endurance sports or games. So that is, how UN has UN Interagency Task Force has defined this sports under the sports for development so and this one organization can obviously be involved in both the programs. One can do program focus on excellence, or the more the other can be more on community driven, or it can be a mix of it. But at the end of it, when I say the outcome, then you will be able to differentiate between two. So when I say differentiation, it's not about that they are altogether different aspects or parts of sport development. They are somehow interrelated at some level, but the only they have their own features, which make them important for professionals to understand, so that they once they understand these two issues, then they'll be able to concentrate more on the outcome. So even if you remain confused that whether what is the outcome or what is the goal of the one particular program, so the intended outcome or the final result will not be satisfying enough for both the organization and the the participants. So delivering the sports excellence, or development of sport program is rather easy than sports for development programs. Sports for development program is more complex in nature, because if you can see, you can address many much more issues uh, through this, which I say when I say many issues, like if you see list down various sustainable development goals or earlier millennium millennium development goals. So you can address all these issues, and the efforts are being made, still being made, and for past decade that there's a link between SDGs and uh, the Sport for Development program. So now, what I'll do is now, I'll give you some examples and live examples. I'll say, wherein you can make out or understand more on this topic, and also differentiate between the sport development of sports and sports for development. Programs. So what I do is I refer to mostly I refer to this very good website which is sportanddev.org. So I'll give you one international uh, perspective and one Indian perspective. So and these examples are more for a sport for development, because development of sport examples are already there. So if you see in Indian context, if you say tops is there, target Olympic podium scheme is there. That is more focused towards development of sport, or Khelo India Youth Games is there. So and if you see the Fit India movement, which was launched by Honorable Prime Minister, is more towards which has used sports or physical activity as a tool for development, or community engagement, and remaining healthy, and it's preventive measures for any disease and all which might occur in future. So here I'll be covering, mentioning examples for sports for development programs. So if you see the International Table Tennis Federation, they have their foundation as well. So they are doing their own programs, although they are a professional body, or sorry, not a professional, but a parent body for tennis across the world. So but again, their main aim is to develop the game, but besides that, they're also doing other activities under the foundation. And many of these organizations, not only abroad but in India also, and there are efforts from the entire ecosystem to link these with the sustainable development goals of the United Nations. So I don't know if all of you are aware of the Sustainable Development Goals. So there are 17 goals under this, and the Table Tennis Federation, through this program under their foundation, is they are trying to achieve specific targets which can be linked to their goal number 3, 4, 5, 10, 16, and 17. So for the easy understanding of the viewers, I'll mention these goals also. So goal 3 is ensure healthy lives and good health and well-being. Goal 4 is quality education. Goal 5 is gender equality. Goal 10 is reduce inequality. Uh, then rule 16 is sorry, goal 16 is peace, justice, and strong institutions. And the last one, 17, is the partnerships for the goals. So you can see how various organizations whose primary role is to develop the game are also now engaging in the other aspect, which is sports for development. So coming to the Indian example, I'll give you an example from the same website. So it's called Pro Sport Development. So under their programs, they're trying to achieve the targets, and again they are focusing on kids between 5 to 15 years of age, and again they are focusing to target goals. Goal number 3, goal number 4, and 5. It's more about quality education, good health and well-being, and gender equality. So you can see, from international or a global body to our national private organizations, many, we have understood the importance of sport in, addressing or harnessing the the power of sports and addressing all these issues which we face as a society. So it goes beyond the sport per se. So also, if you see the United Nations Kazan Action Plan, so they have also, if you see, if I don't know if you are aware of this, but I'll request all the viewers to go through this Kazan Action Plan, wherein the under the action number two, they have mentioned that sports is the most important thing if you want to achieve. Earlier, it was the Million Development Goals. Now it's the SDGs, that is Sustainable Development Goals. So they have prioritized sports, physical activity, and physical education. So and they've also tried to measure the contribution of all these in achieving the SDGs. So I also uh, I attended one UN program in Geneva last year, wherein there's an open-ended working group which is being formed to support the delivery of action, to develop some common indicators for measuring the contribution of physical education and sports. So you can see when in multinational international organizations like UN or ILO was part of that. So you can see how important it is to not only focus on excellence or elite sports. So, but yes, tensions are always will always be there, and there will always be debate that whether we should focus more on grassroots or more on what do you say, the elite part. So these tensions are will always remain there, and some the supporters of sports for development will say community is more important than winning medals, and the supporters of the elite sports will say, it's more important for the pride of the country and stuff like that. So it's very these tensions will go on. So uh, uh, and we as a professional have to deliver. So whatever program we are assigned to. Uh, these are few examples I given, and I hope I was able to communicate some what do you say, meaning to the this sport development word, which we commonly used we commonly use without understanding the real essence of it. So now I'll request if any question so far you can please ask me, or if any information or anything you want to share with the audience, it'll be good for the for all the participants here. Okay, so I'll take the first question by Mr. Sunil Bhatia. This question is, please tell us in brief about the major decisions taken in CII and how do they get implemented in reality. So a very good and a very complex, very difficult question to answer, especially the implementation part. So so what happens that any industry body works like under a specific sector committee. So similarly, there is a committee in sports, sorry, NCI specific to sports. So all these members of this committee are industry leaders. So they are aware of the current situation and what is required. So they take the important decision as to how do we tackle or which area to focus on. So in CII, the focus was more on, as I mentioned earlier, that to make sports a part of the or a mandate in school curriculum, and the vision there was making 300 million children play 60 minutes daily. So why 300 million? Because that is the population we have in schools, and why 60 minutes? Because that is a WHO norm, and we all know that even if you want to have more of sports celebrities or sports stars who perform at the highest level, first the children or the kids need to come to the ground first. And this program was more for inclusion rather than excellence. So that was the driving force behind that, and that was decided by all the committee members. from various subsectors of sports, maybe it broadcasting, education, sports education, and investors or entrepreneurs. So that is the way it is a collective decision taken, not only by the committee members, but you all are aware that these industry bodies keep organizing seminars, conferences. So from there also, from all these discussions at the highest level, and especially with the government, they take decisions as to which area to focus on. Also, then getting into implementations of what happens, that we as a industry body take the inputs from all the stakeholders, especially the private ones, and then we submit to the government, this or the specific department, and then besides submitting the recommendations, we also make a plan, implementation plan, so that it helps the relevant department or the authority to implement on ground successfully, and also do monitoring and evaluation, so that we know that if what is success rate, or if are there any shortcomings to which we need to address. So that is a basic way of working. But if you say the how do we do this policy making process happens is, you identify issue, you filter a issue, then you make recommendations and do monitoring and evaluation. So that is a formal process. But what I've told you was more, as I told you, that it's more about through my experience and practical knowledge. So coming to the next level, next question is sorry. So it's by Mr. Rahul Patne. It says, will ISL ever get to the level of European football? Yeah. So again, these are very very visionary questions. So sure, where there's a hope. So we'll slowly, and ISL has changed the face of Indian football, not only in India but across the globe. And but it will take some time. If you take the example of European football, that also took some time to be at the level, at the present level. So we have to support the support the cause of making football, Indian football, where we can say that yes, we are at par with other global leaders in sports, in football. So it will take some time, but yes, I can assure you that being a part of an ISL club, things are going in the right direction. The thought process from the leaders or the management of all the clubs and the ISL, they understand the ground reality and the problems which lies at the grassroots level in India, and slowly we are working on that. So I am also sure that many of you who follow football or ISL specifically, they have witnessed the change in not only in the playing level but the experience as well. So yes, it will take some time, but that day is not far where we'll get to the European level. Next question is from Mr. Suraj Kumar. How implement sports development in rural school or government step by step? So, again, if you want to implement any program, and especially in geography and demography like India, there is no hard and fast rule, and I cannot say which step will come first or which step and second. But it's you have to see first what is the issue you are trying to address. Whether it's again, you have to tell me if it's sports for development or it's an excellence program. So if it's an excellence program, it's well documented everywhere that how do you scout players, how do you train them, how do you provide them sports science support, and make them perform at the highest level. And if you say for sport for development program, then yes, you have to understand the issue there, the local issue which you're trying to address, or then you have to see the audience which you want to engage with. It's for boys, girls, both, or it's for what do you say, uh, yeah, kids who are around 17, 18, or who are below, or who are going school going. So it depends on that, and slowly, once you understand the issue, you develop, you filter the issue, because as I told you, it's very important that you filter the issues, because there will be many issues, but you cannot address them at at once or through one effort. So you have to understand that problem. Then you can, it's normal, there's no step. I don't know if there's any step, because I told you it's not I'm not sharing any bookish knowledge. So it's all about sports. Sport is no rocket science. It's very simple. So it's, somebody told me that playing football is very simple. We only make it difficult. It's very simple. You Football comes to you, stop the ball, you pass the ball. When you try to do something extra, then it becomes very complicated. So similar to this example, you just make the plan. How do you make it? And the thing is, how do you plan these sports activities or physical activities which should address your concerned area? That is more important rather than just what do you say, planning a program. So there are many examples. You can go online. I used to mentor one not-for-profit organization which used to have football as a tool to develop people from modest backgrounds. It's called Oscar from Mumbai. So if you can see how they have developed their programs. So that is there. So there are many live examples if you search online. You can then you make your own program. You make your own steps. Then coming to next question is Mr. Pranav Dhatke. Sir, can you share a brief info about various sources of revenue in Hyderabad? So I don't know which sources of revenue are you mentioning here. So I believe since the topic is sport, so sport revenue. So if I'm getting a question right, revenue for sporting activities. If you say the professional one, the development of sport ones, it's traditional one that there's sponsorship, gate revenues, merchandise, and broadcasting rights, and all these are there. And but coming to the sports for development sources of revenue, I must agree that it's very difficult to address this particular issue. Raising funds for sports for development projects is quite tough. You can obviously go through you can tap the CSR funds, because sports is again the one of the major areas covered under the act. But again, you will face issues like them. People say that there are many more important uh, what do you say, areas to look after, like poverty, literacy, education. So it's not about Hyderabad specific, but yes, I'm when I say this issue is will face across the country, so that's why I'm saying this. So but when I was in CII or other programs I managed earlier, so besides CII, so what we try to do is we try to use sports as a tool to achieve all these objectives or outcomes. For example, education, empowerment, gender equality, inclusion, and all those things. So there are different revenue sources for these two arms of sport development. So again, second question by Mr. Rahul Patne: will ISL ever adapt to relegation style like European football? Uh, uh, yes, that is the I can see that will be the way forward. But I can't. I don't know by when. But yes, that will be a reality in coming future. The next question is Pranav Dhatke again. What are your views about new teams joining the ISL like Mohan Bagan, East Bengal State? Is it a good step? Okay, so I'll repeat the question. What are your views about new teams joining the ISL like Mohan Bagan, East Bengal, etc.? Is it a good step towards sports development? Yeah, why not? So without Man City, there's no fun watching Man United, or similarly. So where other there's no Arsenal, or where there's no Mohun Bagan, there's no fun watching East Bengal. So that is from a sports fan perspective. But yes, so more and more clubs joining the elite league, will give a lot of opportunities to the youngsters at the grassroots level to pursue football, and also give professional players, uh, much more professional players to play the sport at the highest level. So yes, I don't say it's a good, but it's an excellent step by both the ISL and these historical clubs. Next question is by Mr. Devanjan Bose. What are your thoughts regarding the AIFF Masters course? Do you think it will be any good? So I've not done the course, but yes, if AFF is doing that, is conducting that course, I'm sure it will be good and not good, but I'll say it will be for you, for anyone doing that, it will be a career-changing course. So how is AFF supporting the youth academies? So it's I don't know if I'll be the right person to answer this question. So AFF they own programs. Me as part of Hyderabad FC, we have our own programs. So yes, what I can comment about our own youth plan is I can do that. So we have a plan. We have plans to focus majorly on youth and the grassroots level, and we think that is the way our future lies there, and our future players will come from that system. So, and about youth academies, again, I'll say that I'm. You can obviously search the internet, or you can go to the AFF website. You'll get much more information there. So, if again, very important, I think very important question by Mr. Sunil Bhatia. Again, so it says, if you were to change or add three major sports policies, what would you focus on? Mr. Sunil Bhatia, sir, I don't know about three, but I know only one, which we all have understood right now that if you don't focus on grassroots sports, nothing will happen at the top level. Whatever and it's not about India, I'm saying, but in the entire sports ecosystem, it's very difficult to you know give importance to grassroots sports, or spend investing in at that level. So I think there has to be some policies, wherein policy intervention wherein we focus, give more importance to grassroots sports. So we all understand that if we have more number of kids playing sport, we have known more number of kids to choose from, and you never know from which part of the country you'll get the next Sachin, or next Sunil Chetri, or Maricom. So I think if that is taken care of, the rest, the sporting performance will be in place. And besides that, since that was again from the performance side of I was mentioning, but besides that, it will also help us being a healthy and fit society, and sports teaches you much more, many more life skills which you can't learn inside a classroom. So we'll be having much more responsible citizen. So that is one part. And secondly, if you see another major area which I see can be, where can have sports policy will be, for investment and safeguarding the investments on, or the business interest of venture capitalists or entrepreneurs. So we need to have some policies wherein there is some rebate for entrepreneurs who are interested in getting into sports or starting some new business in the sports ecosystem. So I think these two things are very important right now. One is investment, and investment at the right place. So at third one, I don't know if you know. So also I'll just mention that many states have their own sports policies, but I think more besides sports policies, the implementation is a major. What I've experienced is a very big task here, and implementation has to be planned in a much more better way. Will ISL? Okay, next question is from Mr. Pranav Dhatge. Will ISL Indian football the same when it retires? So again, I know Sunil is a great player, and whenever he retires, we all will miss him. So, but as I mentioned earlier, that if we focus on grassroots, so then we'll be having more Sunil Chetris, and I'm sure that Sunil will also agree to this fact that more opportunities at grassroots will give more Sunil Chetris in future. Okay, so thank you, Mr. Bhatia. Uh, yes, you coined the right word, that catch them young. And Mr. Again, question. So I think this will be the last question for this webinar. So anything you can obviously text me, message me on what Facebook. I'll try to answer the questions offline. But this will be the last question for this webinar. And it's by Mr. Rahul Patne. Should I apply for a D license certificate even if I am a management student? Will it help me for scouting process in my football career? Yeah, so there's no limit to acquiring knowledge, and if you want to be a scout, or I don't know, like, it help me for scouting process. So if you want to get into scouting, yes, very much, it will help you a lot, and otherwise also it will give you, as a management professional, it'll give you, the other. What do you say, information or knowledge of other side, which is the technical side we usually say of in sports. So uh, it will really help you. And I'm just to candid with you, I wanted to do this teach license not because I was interested in coaching, but again acquiring knowledge. And when you have to be manager, you have to understand each and every aspect of your organization, so that you can manage all the, although you will be having a certain specification specialization, but to manage a diverse workforce, it will be good for you to understand all the other aspects, and this will go a long way. You can obviously do, after D you can do C also, if time permits. Okay, so I'll take the last question by Mr. Sunil Bhatia. Sir, Odisha is doing extremely well in sports development, talent hunt, setting up world-class infra, all big academies setting up. Why are other states lacking in this approach? So again, what I feel is it's more personality oriented. So the leaders there in the government are more. What I feel is more sports oriented, or they understood the power of sport. uh, so I'm not talking about the political terms or the vote terms, but they understood, how can change the community at large. So, and it's not only Odisha, so many other governments have started working on this front. I must say that, Telangana, Andhra, Haryana, uh, all these states have started, working on this. But yes, Odisha is the front runner in this aspect. But slowly, other states will also pick up sport as a tool to address other social issues, and also focus on sports excellence. So I'll end the webinar here. So I hope that today's discussion was useful, and I was able to communicate some information to the audience. And thank you all of you for attending this webinar. And I look forward to discuss other topics or this topic again in detail with you. So whenever I get a chance. And thank you all of you. Thank you, Institute of Sports Science and Technology. And stay home and stay safe. See you soon.